spend money on ridiculous things and advise you as to whether or not I think that those things are worth it. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of people make expensive mistakes when it comes to luxury fashion, so I thought that we would sit down today and discuss, because I want to make sure that when you're about to shell out your hard-earned money for some of these very expensive pieces, that you end up happy making that decision. Guys, if you are new here, my name is Cassie and I'm a self-diagnosed luxury addict. I put out videos on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, so if you like luxury fashion, then you're probably gonna love it here. So head down there, subscribe, turn on the bell, become a member of our luxury addicted family. When are we going to rehab? Never. I also have a Substack that will be linked below, and hype me up. There's a button that says hi, please press it. The mistake number one is, funnily enough, falling for the hype. Now this is a slippery slope, and trends are inherently a part of fashion, of luxury fashion, and I think that trends tend to get a bit of a bad rep because they change, they're happening constantly, especially with the sort of world of the internet that we're in now. Things happen at such a quick pace. It can sometimes feel like the moment something is in, it is out. And it's not about participating in all of the trends all the time. It's not that, oh my gosh, if I find out that square-toed shoes are in, it's all I have to wear. Oh my gosh, I can't dare be seen out in a round-toed shoe, okay? I think that it's more about picking and choosing the trends that inspire you with what you already have, a style that you maybe want to try out, but also just things that maybe, do you want to know what? Actually, I think that that's me. I think that that really will suit me, and I hadn't thought about that before, and I want to give it a go. I think that is really how we should be utilizing trends. But with trends come fashion it products, hot products, the pieces everybody's talking about, and then in 6 months' time, it's crickets. Whether that is the Mugler spiral jeans, lest we forget, the Bottega Mini Jodie bag, the Bottega pouch bag, Balenciaga triple S's, the infamous Gucci logo t-shirt of 2017, I think. All of these items at one point took the fashion world by storm. They were the pieces to get. And now we might look back on some of them and go, oh my gosh, wouldn't be seen dead in that sort of thing. We were eating out of the palms of each of these items. However, we are not immune to the hype, and sometimes the hype gets us and it's in a good way, and you wonder, oh my gosh, this is the best piece. I'm so glad that I ended up falling for this and everybody was right. It is amazing and whatever. And sometimes falling for the hype can also mean spending money on something that you're actually not going to get a lot of use out of. Actually doesn't suit your style, or doesn't make you feel comfortable wearing it, or for a plethora of reasons, things don't work out. A lot of people will buy into items because of the hype, even if it's not them, and then guess what? There's another hype item on the way. It doesn't stop, and there is always something else. And it is totally fine to buy the hyped up item. I've done it. I'm sure you've done it. It's about clearing the fog of what everybody else is saying and being able to sit there and ask yourself, am I going to like this? Would I still use and enjoy this if I hadn't heard all of the chatter happening about it? Is it my style? I feel like Quiet Luxury was a really good example of this, because this was obviously more on a trend level, but people all of a sudden were dressing a certain way when it wasn't their style at all. I'm not a Quiet Luxury, but to be honest with you, this is maybe the most Quiet Luxury look I've turned down. But that is not my style. Okay, so whatever bags were going to come out that was leaning into that, let's say something like the Rome Margot, I wasn't going to be interested in. And it leads you to waste money on pieces that actually you really don't care that much about. So again, you've got to sit there and think, is this my style? Clear the fog of chatter, and would you buy it if this wasn't trending? Mistake number two is convincing yourself of the investment of a designer bag. Oh, the word investment gets thrown around a lot when it comes to thinking about purchasing a designer bag, justifying the purchase of a designer bag. But really, the only investment you should be caring about is whether or not this is a good investment in your wardrobe. In reality, only a very small handful of designer bags are actually investment bags. I've done a whole video on that in case you want to go into more detail and learn more about it. I will have that linked below. But you also have to keep in mind that the more you use an item, the more you enjoy an item, the more its value, whatever that might be, goes down. And the priority should be getting your use out of it. The priority should be enjoying that item and not having to think about whether or not you are ruining the investment value of it. And investment bags are only investment bags bags if you plan on selling them. So when it comes to your luxury purchases, I think a lot of people put far too much thought into, am I going to be able to get my money back for this and all of that, when really none of these things are necessities. And the only way that you are going to make a good luxury purchase is if you enjoy using and wearing that item. The third mistake, settling and not prioritizing what you want. I get a lot of DMs from some of you guys basically being like, okay, I'm torn between buying this and I really want this, but it's a lot of money. Maybe I should buy this instead. And this is what tends to happen, is that the thing that you really want is expensive. Let's say the thing that you really want is 5,000. And sometimes people end up settling for 2 items that are 2,000 each because the blow is softened a lot more. But guess what? You still want that 5,000 item. You still want that Lady Dior bag instead of the wallet on chain or whatever it might be. And so you've ended up buying something that, yeah, okay, it might be nice, but you actually don't love that much. And you still love the thing that you want. So have you just wasted money on something that you like 70% instead of the thing that you want for 100% and just waiting and saving for that item? I think that this happens a lot. I've done this in the past when I've been like, oh, but it's really expensive, blah, blah, let me just buy the cheaper option and maybe it'll scratch the same itch. And the itch is still there, okay? I'm still here scratching away. So I think that sometimes that is happening. And I know that that is easier said than done with price increases and all of that, but if you can save and wait for the item that you want, it is going to be so much better. You're going to enjoy it so much more than the piece that you bought just to settle. Mistake number 4, paying full price for items that go on sale. Now, this is not an exact science. And this one is more through like, the more that you kind of luxury shop or the more that you're tapped into luxury shopping, the more you'll see these sorts of trends form. There are certain brands that tend to fill up in the sale, right? A lot of the collection will go into the sale. There are also certain types of pieces that will go to outlet. If you start to sort of noticing the type of pieces, then you start to be able to go, I reckon that's going to go into outlet. So let me just wait and save myself some money on it and not have to spend whatever it is full price. When it comes to the outlet, you're not really going to find classic pieces. You're not going to go to Saint Laurent and be able to find an Ikea bag, let's say, or something like that, at the outlet. If it's there, I'd be surprised. And obviously, the popular pieces would have already been sold. But if you like something a little bit more statementy, more seasonal, that you reckon, I don't think there's that many of us that are going to go for this, then you're going to have a good opportunity to get that, most likely in the outlet. Like I mentioned, there are also certain brands that tend to go into the sale. Dries being one of them, unless it's a popular piece. And again, this is why I'm saying it's not an exact science, but they're a brand that tend to go into the sale. Versace is a brand that historically tends to have a pretty decent sale by themselves and also go into sales on luxury retailers. I don't know if that's going to change with their new Prada ownership. The jury is out. Valentino is a brand that tends to go on sale. Zimmermann as well. I saw a lot of Zimmermann in the sale this time. So you can't always get it right, and there are going to be those hyped items that you never know which one it is going to pop off that, yeah, if you didn't buy it then, you're not going to see it again. But I don't think a lot of people realise or notice the types of brands that go into the sale and whatever, because I think that if we're using up here, you can sort of hedge your bet and understand, okay, where can I get a little bit of a deal here? Also, with the outlets, even if you don't live near an outlet, a lot of outlets do remote shopping. I know that they do it in the UK and I know that they do it here as well. The next mistake is being overly precious or not using the items or not wanting to use them. As beautiful as these pieces are and as artistic and as stunning as they look on a shelf, you are going to get the most use and joy out of it. You're going to get the most use out of it if you use it, Cassie, yes, but you're going to get the most joy out of it when you use it. When it is out and about as your trusty steed, as your sidekick, as the donkey to your Shrek, that's when you're going to be like, okay, I'm happy that I made that investment in my wardrobe. I'm happy that I shelled out the money for that. I love the way this looks. I love what it adds to an outfit. I love the design, and every time I use it, it just makes me feel happy. Those sorts of things. Like I said, this is a lot of money that we're spending on these items. Enjoy it. Use it. Okay, otherwise, what's the point of it just sitting there staring at you? Okay, as lovely as it is that you might stare at it back during particularly long, boring work calls. Where you're going to really love it and be happy that you made that decision is when it is on your arm, on your feet, on your body, whatever. The next mistake is choosing pieces that don't suit your lifestyle. And I think sometimes maybe this is also being overshadowed by the hype. We can make decisions that don't necessarily make sense on how we live. For example, I love TBE Tiny Bag Energy. Why? Because I don't really carry too much with me. But if you are somebody that needs to have your iPad with you, or has a child and needs to make sure that they've got snacks and whatever else, okay, and you need to carry with you a first aid kit and a this and a that and a bingo bongo, then you need to have a bigger bag. And so disregard my love for tiny things. Buying delicate materials. Buying materials like satin and silk or fabric bags when you need something that you're going to commute with, something that can be in all weather, something that is big enough for a laptop, something that's not going to snag easily or pill when it rubs against your blazer on your way to work. Even things like choosing the right Van Cleef Alhambra stone. Half of those are really quite delicate, and if you're somebody that's not going to take your jewellery off when you go into the shower, then guess what? You need to know which one of those can keep up with you, or which one you're going to be disappointed with because it shrunk or it dulled or whatever else. Don't buy a load of coats if you live in a hot climate. Some of these sound obvious, but also some of them we fall for just because it's a really nice sodding coat. If I look back on my purchasing, my lifestyle has changed completely in me moving countries. I have much more of a social life. I did not have a social life at all back in the UK. So there are bags and pieces and items that I buy now that I wouldn't have bought in the UK because I would have no use out of them. So as much as people like me, and this sort of like feeds into the next point, as much as I might be here going, do you want to know what? Look at this. Fantastic. Excellent spend of money. It's a collector's piece, blah, blah, blah. It fits your cards. What else do you need and all of that? If you're there going, well, I can't really take that to work, Cassie. You know, you might go there going, I spend the majority of my time going to or from work. This isn't really going to cut it. Fair enough, okay? But do think of yourself, okay? Be selfish. Put you first. Which brings me to my last mistake, which is buying what other people think you should buy. When I sort of started doing YouTube, I used to do a load of videos on like the best first designer bags, and I haven't done that for a few years now because I don't think there is a best first designer bag. I don't think there is the right answer for everybody. Fashion, aside from the functional side of, well, that depends what sort of size you need and what colours you like and what kind of designs you speak to you, it is also about personal style. So whereas I might sit here and go, oh, best first designer bag, Fendi Baguette, you know me, I will shout about that from the rooftops. I love a Fendi Baguette. You might actually think your style might be much more this. And you might go, actually, I think I'm going to get a lot more use out of this. It's got a top hand that's got the versatility that I need. It's not as casual looking as a Fendi Baguette, and this speaks to my soul a little bit more. Then you make those decisions. I think that a lot of us can be swayed by, you know, people like me who seem to know what we're talking about sometimes, and that clouds the judgment of what you know is going to work for you and what is important to you in your sort of purchase decisions. I think that, you know, when it comes to classic pieces, everybody thinks that these are the things you should get. Oh my god, it's Chanel ballet flats, or Chanel espadrilles, or a Chanel classic flap, or it's a Dior Lady Dior bag, it's a Louis Vuitton Neverfull, and it's a Goyard St. Louis, and these are the classics. And if you want to make sure that you're spending your money right, then these are the only pieces you should be going for. Disregard. Because if you want to enjoy it, it has to be true to you. It has to be pieces that you're going to get use out of, are going to make you happy and smile, are going to have the user friendliness that you need to get the most out of that piece. Do you have any other luxury mistakes to share? Please do so in the comments. I'm going to leave a link to another video over here in case you haven't already seen it. Have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. And in the words of my father,
if you've enjoyed it, tell your friends. If you haven't, keep your mouth shut.
I'll see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye, guys.